Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. My name is Adam McLean, and we're going to kick off today's show with a tip from Kara Powell.
At the Fuller Youth Institute, our mission is to leverage research into resources that elevate leaders, kids, and families. One of our important areas of research relates to urban ministry and specifically the type of stress that urban youth workers experience. In many ways, it's unique and more intense than the average stress that a suburban youth worker experiences. So we surveyed over 200 urban leaders around the country, and here's what surprised us the most. At the time that they took the survey, which was over a year ago, about 1 out of 3 of the folks who took the survey showed signs of post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, if we compare that with the general population, only about 1 out of 8 adults will show those same signs of post-traumatic stress disorder, meaning what people tend to experience, say, when they get back from Iraq or Afghanistan. Only 1 out of 12 will experience that in our culture overall in their lifetime. So think about that for a second. 1 out of 3 urban youth workers the day they took the survey compared with 1 out of 12 over their lifetime. I can't even really do the math on how much more likely it is for urban leaders to experience the kind of stress that really is a lot like going into combat. So one of the questions we're trying to figure out now is what are some of the resources that urban leaders can most benefit from? We're already learning so much, things like counseling and therapy, how important that is, as well as, of course, a good community that really supports them. But even really practical things. We're finding that a lot of urban leaders never take a day off because they live in their cities and they're working 24/7. So we're trying to make very practical recommendations even about schedule. So urban youth workers, they have it hard, they really do, but we're confident that as we understand more of the amazing resources they also have, they can experience long-term transformation.
Thanks for that, Kara. Next up on the show is Scott Rubin, and he's going to share this devotional with you.
Hey, my name's Scott, and I'm here with my friend Wes, who is on the junior high ministry team with me at our church. And we were just talking about times when you feel like maybe you are the only one who has ministry setbacks and things that don't go your way. And so we just want to tell you about one of the times when something did not go our way.
Yeah, we were at our fall retreat, which is the biggest event we do.
Whole weekend.
Whole weekend with some junior high students. And we had a kid who was a really involved kid, kind of a knucklehead kid. But it seemed like this weekend he was really getting it. He was really dialing into what we were talking about. And the last night of our worship experience, he was crying. And so we really thought things were clicking with him. And he went over to you and he talked to you and said some things. Explain the rest.
Well, he was kind of a popular athletic kid, and it felt like he was breaking down in a good way, like really connecting with what was happening. And he actually told me that his grandma was in the hospital, and he was just really feeling like what we were talking about was making a difference for him. Then later in the weekend, he came to me and he told me that his grandma actually passed away, and his mom had called the camp and told him that.
During the worship service when he was crying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Getting a lot of hugs from girls.
Well, that's also true, which should have been a tip-off.
Yeah.
But so, man, we prayed with him and told him that, God was going to be there for him and whatever. And, it felt like he was really in a tender place. Well, we got home and all the buses, are coming in and parents are picking him up. And I see his mom. And I said, hey, I'm really sorry about your mother. And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, but he said, well, she's in the hospital, but we think she's going to be all right. And I said, you're kidding me. He lied to me. He lied about his own grandmother dying so that he could get some sympathy from some people. And he came up to me about 10 minutes later because he must have talked to his mom. And he said, Scott, I'm really sorry. And I was like, don't even talk to me. And he said, listen, she's really sick, though, and she'll probably going to die. And when she does, I will be the first to tell you. And I was like, don't even tell me. I will have no sympathy left. I have used it up. And it was one of those moments we thought we were really going in the right direction with a kid. Didn't work out that way. But those are the moments where you just have to say, you know what, there's a bigger picture going on. Other great things happen at that camp, just not with that kid that particular time. So we're just here to encourage you. We're all on the road together. Sometimes things go great. Sometimes they don't go great at all. But keep doing it, and we will too.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching the show. As always, I want to invite you to connect with me. You can send me an email at adam@youthspecialties.com, or you can look me up on facebook.com/youthspecialties, or on Twitter, which we're YSScoop there, or any other way that you want to connect with me is totally legit. Can't wait to hear from you. As always, we want you to know that your ministry matters. We know that you don't hear it enough. We know that times are tough right now. We know that you're heading into a Christmas season where you're going to go to all sorts of weird things with like junior hires and instruments. We want you to know that even that matters. It matters to the parents in your ministry. It definitely matters to those students, but most importantly, it matters to the heart of God. Thanks for what you do. We'll see you next week.